Welcome back, fellas. Got a new project at hand. So this is my Hatson break barrel pellet gun. I used to enjoy hunting, and I don't really care to do it that much anymore. Maybe one day I'll get back into it, but just as I've gotten older, the appeal of hunting has kind of worn off. And I like shooting targets now, but the thing is that I don't like ricochet bullets. I don't really care for loud noises anymore. So high-powered pellet gun, way to go. Had this gun for about 2 years. It was decent. It was a .30 pellet, and I'm going to tell you the things that I disliked about this particular gun. One, it is so heavy. I've never weighed it, but just this, the break in the barrel, just this part, dude, it probably weighs about 15 pounds. All together with the scope, it's gotta weigh close to 20. I mean, it's hefty. The other thing I didn't like about it is you were accurate up until about 20 yards. After that, with that .30 pellet, your pellet would drop so much and lose so much energy. It was almost like you couldn't even shoot it. Now, I also still had the scope that came with it, so it was not a good scope. It wasn't really for shooting far, which is what I'd like to more get into, is shooting further targets. But went to take it out to fire it, and it broke. I took it apart to see if I could get in here to see what's wrong inside of it. You can't even get into it. So I just decided to scrap it. I mean, look at this. Sorry, my table's dirty, but it's a workshop. So I spent some money and decided to get an Airacuda. I kept seeing videos on it. Wanted a PCP for a long time over the break barrel. Finally got one. Airacuda PCP Max. I was going to go with the lower version. I think it's just the Airacuda standard. I was going to go with that, but whenever I went to purchase it, it was out of stock. And I was like, it's a sign. Go with the Max. Let's go. So I got the Max. Let's give y'all a quick... It's not unboxing, it's just kind of showing y'all what I'm getting into while I'm waiting on go-kart parts. So, instructions. I will read that. I've never had a PCP. But look at this. Y'all. All the reviews on this gun, dude, they're right. I mean, I haven't shot it yet, but they're right. This feels really good. There's little things that I was like, man, I wish they would have paid more attention to detail. Like, this is kind of crooked right there. I don't know if you can see that, but it's bent that way a little bit. And then also under the cheek rest, I can see it's not stained. So it would have been kind of nice attention to detail if you would have stained the inside. I doubt it's stained under here once you remove all of this. This is regulated. There's an adjustment for the regulator in there. I'm gonna leave it all stock. I like to shoot it as is before I mess with anything. But dude, so much lighter. I mean, so much lighter than this. Even just this. I guarantee you this weighs almost 5 pounds more than this. Like, this thing probably weighs about 8 pounds, I would say. I mean, just that barrel and brake is way heavier. And then we got the magazine, which this is what I'm really excited about too, is not having to reload every time. Just stick a bullet in it, shoot, stick a bullet in it, shoot. And then also, to pair that up, I was really conflicted on this because I don't know scopes. I don't know anything about optics. I thought about spending $200 on a scope, and then I went back and forth because supposedly people are hitting targets at 100 yards. I've never hit anything at 100 yards. So to hit a target at 100 yards, that would be super sick. So I went back and forth on what optic to get. There's a lot of, I would politely call them optic snobs. No offense to anyone, but you gotta admit, it's a lot of personal opinion when it comes to that. It's a lot of like, I feel this, I feel that. It's not always, I don't have $1,000 to spend on an optic. So I bought this one. It was $50. It's dark right now, so I can't play with it. But it's supposed to do, obviously not as good as $1,000 optic. But, for $50, it didn't look half bad, man. I'm going to be honest. It's a huge upgrade to my last optic, which is really what I was going for, was an upgrade from that. Look at that. It's kind of long, but I think it's gonna look super sick, and it's got these lens guards. I'm gonna call them. I don't know what they are. Lens guards. All kinds of adjustments. It's got a little sunshade thingy. Batteries. It is illuminating reticle. And then it even comes with the mounts, man. Come on. $50? If it's clear and I can see a decent, like a 3-inch size target at 100 yards and land a shot, $50, man. I put a lot of the money I wanted to spend into the gun, and I figure I'd do a little bit on the optic, and then you could always excuse me, I'm just coming back from Colorado, and I got sick out there. But I can always splurge more on the optic after. That was kind of my train of thought. Get a baseline starter kit, go all out on the gun, make sure I'm happy with the gun, then get the optic. I can always upgrade the optic. $50, not the worst. I have other guns that I'm sure would love a $50 optic. But let me get some air in this real quick, do a little test shot, make sure everything works, and then whenever the sun comes up, hopefully we'll start shooting some targets.